Welcome to our weekly podcast, Let's Talk Rugby. Here with me is Ruben Chihumro. Good to have you, sir. And Lewis Simjif. Good to have you.
Good to be back.
Okay, let's start with Gold Cup. Last week in Uganda, I read your article about the rights and wrongs of Uganda Cranes. Specifically, you highlighted about our defense. Could you talk about that?
In what was a near almost perfect display from the Cranes, defense wasn't actually an issue. It was very good, apart from when it came to the set piece, the scrum down. You'd find that the backs, their realignment during defense of the scrum down, there were very, very big gaps. That's where you see that Tunisia got the two opportunities they did, and they were able to break and able to score. So if you find a team that is sharper than Tunisia were, they are able to utilize that whenever they get to our half and exploit it for their benefit, just because that Tunisia wasn't awake and they couldn't be able to capitalize on that.
Okay. Lewis, Ivan Magom is back in the team. What do you make of that?
Well, I am as happy as the next rugby fan. I mean, Ivan Magom is probably the best thing you have in the country right now. He's a game setter, he's a pace setter. In a summary, I'm glad to have him back in the team.
Okay. Let us discuss the threat that Morocco poses on Saturday.
For all those that have watched what Morocco can do, especially for the fact that they are at the bottom, they are in a position where they don't want to be. They are fighting against Zimbabwe and Tunisia, not to go back to Tier 1. So that makes them a very dangerous team. If you've watched Morocco play, they are pretty much like Tunisia, very big, very physical, but what sets them different is their feet. So what we're going to expect, we need to also be more awake, not have those nerves that we had at the beginning of the game. We need to be more prepared and not take them for granted. So having people like Ivan Magom back, we have a general back, so I think we shall be able to execute, be able to put out points earlier and kill the game while it's still early, honestly.
Lewis, if you were the Cranes coach, what would you do differently against Morocco that the players did or did not do against Tunisia over the weekend?
Like Ruben has said, we were slow starters against Tunisia. Actually, we are slow starters because it happened against Kenya, where we conceded 4 tries in the first 20 minutes. And by the time we woke up, Kenya was miles ahead of us. We scored a few tries to try to get back in the game, but that was all futile. Same thing against Tunisia. A very lackluster side. We sleep at the start, and they get in very, very easily. So what I would do as Duncan is tell the boys that the game is 80 minutes, not 60 minutes, as some of them may hope. Start from the word go. And that's why, again, I am happy we have a general like Ruben has put it, a general like Ivan Magom back. Because we have seen before with Ivan and Aaron running the halfback positions. Then you have Philip running at defenders like he's moving through a marketplace. It's very much fun to watch. So I'm expecting that from the word go, Uganda is going to be on fire because Morocco are a better side than Tunisia. They went to Zimbabwe and got a goal from Zimbabwe. Not very many teams come from wherever they've come, from lower tiers, go to Zimbabwe, go to Harare, and get a point. Actually, get on the scoreboard. But Morocco did that. Uganda and Zimbabwe are practically, you'd say, at the same level, or probably Uganda could be a little higher. But then you would expect the same game for Morocco. They've rested for a long while. They've been out of the game for a long while. They are back this weekend. They are very, very rested. Uganda was in action last weekend, so there's still some fatigue from the hits against Tunisia. So what I'll tell the boys is, from the word go, hit, score hard, put the fear of God and the fear of the game in Morocco, and it will be win for Uganda.
Maybe more, sir. Yes. In addition to what Elma has said, you find that Uganda, if I was the coach, what I would really work on for this weekend is our set piece. We had like 2 successful lineouts in the previous game. Despite that our opponents were worse than us, we could not execute a proper line out. And this week there were reports of Alex Moriru coming back into the team, but from the team we have the final team that's going to play on Saturday that has come out is still not in. So the coach, I think, has chosen to go with the people that have been there and maybe give them one more chance. But the thing is, we really need to get ourselves a platform. You see, if we get penalties and we cannot be able to access we cannot be able to kick for touch and then start our attack using a line out, then it's going to be very tiresome for our scrummers, our forwards, because if you have it that they are going to, for every penalty, every free kick we get, we're going to go for the scrum all the time. You're wearing them out. They have other duties to do. You see, rugby is truly played amongst the forwards. They set a platform for the backs to play. So if we can get that momentum starting from the line out, getting the proper territory, but of course we have to maintain what we have done for now. We have to keep the ball. Uganda is not the biggest of sides. Actually, comparing them to all the others, we are the smallest side, but we are, with the exception of Namibia, I think we are second in skill levels. The other teams are just more efficient and they understand their problems and they know how to use their strengths to their advantage. So we need to keep the ball. You realized after the 20 minutes against Tunisia, when we changed and started not kicking the ball away aimlessly, we actually started to play. We started taking control of the game, taking nothing away from Robert Masendi. He played a very good game, but yeah, we need more experienced heads back into the fold. And that's why I think Ivan Magoma has been chosen, though I think it's a bit unfair. Robert should have been on the bench, in my opinion.
Okay. Maybe to add on to what Ruben has said, you realize it's a stereotype, but it's true. North African rugby is majorly amongst the forwards. They are heavier than we are. So you're going to expect them to have their ball and possession amongst the forwards. I think the tactic we have to maximize is to make sure that the ball, when it is in Uganda's hands, it gets to our runners, gets to Aaron, gets to Ivan, gets to James Odong, Chimono with those hits and offloads, gets to Philip, Michael. When our runners have the ball, I think we shall have a very good game.
Let us talk about Phil Pokoraj. Oh boy, we all loved him, we all enjoyed watching him, scoring 37 points. But what threat do you think he poses against Morocco on Saturday?
Well, with Philip, if you've seen him in the 7s and the 15s, I think every team needs a player like him. You need someone with the X factor. Someone who, when you've tried everything according to the letter of the book, according to what the coach tells you, you need someone who is going to do something out of it, take a chance. Because you see, if you read my article, I was actually saying some of the things he does are borderline gambling. But because fortune favors the brave, when you actually try out something, maybe 5 out of 10 times it's going to work, and yes, that's what makes him an exceptional player. He has the, can I call them, the balls to actually try something, which not all players have. But on the other hand, maybe this might not be for this period, because right now we need to secure a proper position for the Gold Cup so that we can have better fixtures next year. But we need to also start learning how to play without Philip. We don't have any backups for 15 that are actually tested. Yes, there is James Odong, but he has been playing a lot at wing. We have people like Timothy Kisiga, but they are not in the fold. And you see, Uganda did away with what used to be Cranes A. It was a team where you'd have the potential people supposed to be going to the main team, but they'll be getting needed game time. You have people like Komake Chakera, they're all there, but they're just waiting in the folds. They don't have where they can keep getting that much needed experience, because club rugby is different from test rugby. So you need to have a platform where people are tried out. Now take for instance, God forbid, Philip is injured, or maybe he gets a bigger contract, like let me say in France, in the UK, and is unable to come back. We have to find solutions for that. But of course, about Saturday, what we expect from him, more of the same basically, because I don't support him being at 10, because he likes to express himself. We want our number 10 to be a distributor, to create for others. Now, what we have from Philip is he's going to do what? He's going to run at people, he's going to draw people, create for others, he's going to kick, he's going to just express himself, like I said. So we need him to do that, and 15 or 13 would be his perfect positions for me, if our coach.
Eric Muller and Sajja, back in the team. What say you?
Musaja was a don last year in the Gold Cup. Whoever watched our back row last year was amazed with what we got, because we had Musaja in there, we had Marvin, had Brian. Their backups was Scott, Musa Mwangi was
of back row.
So
back row heaven.
It was amazing. Then this year he's brought back in against Kenya, and he went AWOL. He moonlighted. But you see, it is something that happens with every sportsman. There's a rainy day, there's a sunny day. So it wouldn't make sense for a player to have a bad day and then you keep him out forever. It shows something great about the camp and about the coach, that he trusts his players. Even if you've had one bad game, I trust you. You are man enough. You can come back. You can beat this and you can do better. So I'm very happy for Musaja is back. Then Mula's case, I think center 13 and 12 are positions where Uganda struggles for talent so much. Unlike in other positions, because you could mention fullback and you say, well, Philip this with that, then you would think there's Chisiga, there's Adrian Casito. Then you mention 10, we beat Tunisia 67 without Ivan. When you come to the back row, I've given you the names. When you come to the front row, well, Pirates can gift us with Alema and Pajo. But when you come to center, it's still a gamble. So I think the coach is still trying out very, very many things. He's still trying to identify someone that can be as constant at 13 as Michael has been. Because when you're naming a 15-a-side team for Uganda, 13 is known. You can name everything and change whoever you want.
But you know 13 is
13 is going to be Michael Crouch. If 13 has something else, you're going to ask, is he injured? Is he sick? Is he out on family issues? So I think the coach is trying to build up Mula for this role. Not only Mula, because last weekend we saw Ian Munyani in the poll. So and the coach says he has a bigger pool this year. So he's trying to give more players more time and figure out a system and boys he can work with. So I'm happy for Mula, I'm happy for Musaja as well.
Okay, Ruben, what's your prediction for the weekend?
The weekend, I think we're going to have a score in the margins of 50, maybe 55 to 20. To Uganda, of course.
Of course. I don't want to give Morocco all 20 points. I'll give them at most 14. Then Uganda, I'll go for 40. 14 is my prediction. 40 Uganda, 14 Morocco.
Alright, let's talk about Kenya, Tunisia shortly. Yeah, William Baka has been called, and we see that Kenya, if they win by bonus points, they'll go in the range of 3 points. 3 points, yeah. Namibia, though, has been very flawless. We saw them beat Zambia. Zimbabwe, 58-28. Let's talk about the Kenya-Tunisia game. Do you think they have it in them to win by bonus points?
Very sure. I'm very confident about it. It's one of the games that I can actually put my hand there to be cut off if they don't get it. They are going to get the bonus point. The reason why people like William Baka are brought into the team is for actually the Namibia game. This game is just going to be like a setup, like a training session, like a platform for them. They're going to go to Tunisia and try to get maximum points, putting pressure and making the Namibians not relax, so setting up what I can call a grand final between Namibia and Kenya in Windhoek. Yeah, but basically I expect Kenya to do what they do best, use their big runners. You see, the compliment with Kenya is they are big but they are fit, and they have people that think for them in Adimo and Mokiza. Yes. So they know how to play, they know how their boys play, especially with Onsomo. Onsomo, the scrum half, knows how to control his forwards. They are really going to use them. And as you saw Tunisia in Uganda, Tunisia is going to come and at least be hard at the beginning, but they are not fit. They don't look fit. They are going to be, and they are suffering with injuries, and they are suffering with other backroom stuff. So I don't really see Tunisia really posing a very big challenge, and I think my guess would be Tunisia is a team that's going to go back to Taiwan. So I expect Kenya to win and set up a mouth-watering clash for who's going to take that top spot. for the Rugby World Cup.
Okay, I wanted us to discuss about the health of the rugby players. I think we are going to discuss that in our next podcast. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Lois.
Always a pleasure.
Till next time.